briefing, they had to sign a non-disclosure agreement before the briefing began. They were told that they were being put on standby for evacuation, and how they may get as much as 2 weeks planetary-sized object was going to cause massive flooding on all coastal areas. The map they were shown is very similar to the map of my DVD. I need to get a copy of that to you, by the way, Mike, if I haven't. And that was pretty much it for that source. The second source is in the Department of Homeland Security, and that source basically confirmed what the first source said without going any further on that. And then the following day, or the same day, I should say, you came up with your own sources, Mike, and why don't you tell us about those?
The source that first told me about this is a director-level individual for a foreign intelligence agency that I have occasion to speak with now and then. I didn't put a lot of credence in it at the time. I was told, researched, I have to put more and more credence in it. And as a qualifier, I have to say this up front, that, you know, perhaps this is being floated as disinformation to discredit people and to discredit. So I have to give a caveat there. I don't think it is, but it could be just that type of effort. But I was told that to be very prepared, that a planet-sized object would be passing very, very near the Earth, and I was told that the distance, the closest distance, would be maybe 5 to 10 Earth diameters. It would come that close, and that we should be be prepared for massive earthquakes, and as a result of those earthquakes, tsunami-level flooding in coastal areas. Now, since that time, I've done some more digging, and I spoke with intelligence sources within the U.S. who not only confirmed that, but added some more fuel to the fire. And one of the things is that this object is coming in at an extremely high rate of speed. And what the other concern is, besides just the near passage, is that as this thing passes through the asteroid belt, it's going to disturb the stable orbits of many asteroids that are out there that are orbiting, and be like a cue ball on a billiard table and send these things going helter-skelter in every direction, so that no one knows where they're going to end up and what their ultimate destinations are going to be, and that we may be living with after effects of this for a number of years into the future.
Absolutely. Well, the distance that you described, 10 times the Earth is about 24,000 miles in diameter. So 10 times that would only be 250,000 miles. That's about the distance of the moon, by the way.
Yeah, that's close. And I've been told that the size of this object could be as big as the moon. Could be. It is being tracked currently, and the primary tracking station is that large dish in Puerto Rico, I believe it is. So yeah, I'm trying to learn more and as much as I can, as quickly as I can, because this will affect a lot of people. Now, I also have to tell you, I have been told point blank information that I can't share, because I was told if I go on the air with this, that my truck's going to blow up with me in it. And okay. And mostly what that has to do with the high rate of speed it's traveling at, and how it achieved that high rate of speed. The term slingshot comes to mind.
Right. So, well, when this thing comes into our solar system, Mike, it comes up. It's coming from the south, by the way, and as it gets deeper into our solar system, approaching our sun, it picks up speed. Does a loop-to-loop around the sun, where it slows down and then starts picking up speed as it goes back out.
One of the things that the powers that be will do is they will give you bits of information, but they'll also give you bits of disinformation.
Right.
And so it's up to us to use our own discernment to try to determine, hey, what's real and what's bunk. And I'm struggling with this. I have to be very honest.
We come across information like this from reliable sources that don't know each other. If it's true and we don't report it, then we could be directly responsible for a lot of lives being lost. If it's not true and we report it, well, then we get some egg on our face and life goes on. As a opportunity for a training opportunity for us to evaluate our prudent preparedness, develop a plan A, a plan B, maybe even a plan C, to be able to evacuate if we live on a coastal area and be able to have a safe haven to go to. The scientists I work with, and I work with a number of scientists, they're all in agreement that, yes, this thing's coming. And when it does come, it's going to cause massive flooding in all coastal areas. As you probably know, Mike, I've debriefed about 24 Navy veterans who were at the classified briefings, telling them that during their lifetimes, this coastal flooding would occur. So I agree with you. It's a quandary. It's something that we need to encourage people to do their own research, to achieve their own level of discernment, and make decisions based on
well, John,
the knowledge
if worse
that they
comes to worse, just be away from any large urban areas at all, because if something of this magnitude occurs, there's going to be mass panic. And when that happens, your freeways are going to be like parking lots, and you're not going to be able to get away. You're going to be stuck where you are. Temperatures are going to flare. People are going to become desperate. You might, like I said, you may just want to be out of the cities, so that you at least minimize the risk and you don't get yourself caught up in a massive urban situation, where you're sitting on a freeway and you can't move because it's bumper to bumper and the cars around you are running out of gas because they've been sitting there for 10 hours idling.
Right. Well, I've talked occasionally, I did recently, about the aerial photograph of Houston, Texas, when people were trying to evacuate when the hurricane was headed that way. I counted the lanes up that weren't moving all in one direction. I think it was 12 or 14 lanes, interstate highway and outer roads. It was amazing, an amazing, very scary photograph.
Now I have to wonder why, when we have Tesla Tech array capability that could target an asteroid like this and do this to it, why we would not do that. One of the arguments is that it would do this. Many meteorites would fall to the earth and cause some devastation. But I would say much better that than this. The first angel sounded his trumpet. And there came hail and fire mixed with blood, and it was hurled down on the earth. A third of the earth was burned up. A third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The second angel sounded his trumpet. And something like a huge mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea turned into blood. A third of the living creatures in the sea died. and 1/3 of all the ships were destroyed. The third angel sounded his trumpet. And a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on 1/3 of the waters and on 1/3 of the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. 1/3 of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter. My friends, as I've told you before, I believe we are living in the first 3 seals of Revelation. The first 3 seals have opened, and we are living daily in those first 3 seals. The 4th will open in a while. And I believe that the first 3 trumpets are about to sound, and I believe they will sound one upon the heels of the next. Be ready. Listen to the Lord. Obey His word. If you don't know Jesus, give your heart and life to Him. If you do know Him, wait upon His coming. Stay in your inner rooms when danger comes and allow danger to pass by. Difficult days are coming. Even so, Maranatha, come, Lord Jesus.